Hey there, welcome to the garden. So I came out today to do a little bit of maintenance on the container pond and I wanted to show you what I'm doing with that. I also noticed a few fun things starting to show up. So my first cosmos. Look at this, how pretty. I think this is called carpet mix. It's like just the orange cosmos. And I just stuck them in these grow bags, which are just taking off. So exciting to see. I did some pruning and I'm so glad I did because look, you can see the zucchinis are coming in. I'm gonna have to go back. I believe that this zucchini variety I got from Johnny's Seeds. I got the seeds last year because I'd had a bad zucchini year the year previous, and I was like, I just want the highest producing, most intense hybrid that will get the job done. And boy, these zucchinis are super productive. So I'll have to go back and try to find that exact variety. But lots of other cool things too. I think some of my patty pans are starting, yeah, there we go, starting to put on some fruit. So that is good. And the eggplant's flowering. So we've got some things happening in here. And my ground cherries back there are starting to really set fruit too. We've got a sunflower. Oh, so many fun things. I could just spend a ton of time out in the garden showing you things. I do need to grab some treatment for spider mites because look at that dahlia. Oof. Does not look good. So I gotta get in there and spray that. I also noticed that there's wasps living in my birdhouse. So a few things that might need to be taken care of. But our focus for today is going to be the container pond. So here's the container pond. She's looking really good. I've got a few things I just want to kind of clean up. So this is actually watercress, and I think it's just getting a little like too wild. The Creeping Jenny is doing well, and I may train this kind of like more out. It's really going into the pond, but I think it'd be kind of nice if it spilled out a bit more. So just doing a little bit of like kind of training with that. And then my biggest thing is this hornwort. I just need to trim it back a little bit because so much of it is growing in here that I'm worried it's like a bit too much. And I have heard that with the hornwort, you can just prune it, like literally just like you would prune any plant, any non-aquatic plant. The hornwort, you can do the same thing. You can just come in and like snip it off and size control, just the same you would any other plant. So that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get my clippers and maybe my gloves and get in here and kind of clean this up a little bit. I wanna keep some plant life, of course. It's really healthy for the pond, but I don't want it to get just like all clogged up. And I can see my little minnows swimming around in there. I want to be able to see them. Right now, with how full it is of plants, I can't even see the minnows. So I'm gonna do all that. I'm gonna go get my thing. Okay, so I am just going to come in, get my pot over here. And I'm just going to take the hornwort and just clip off a few little pieces. Now you could totally like reroot that if you wanted, you know, more, propagate it. But right now I feel like it's just a little too much. I love the lily pads. They are some of my favorites. I grew up on like a lake when I was a kid, and I always loved, it was full of lily pads, and I always loved them. I thought they were just the most beautiful. They have the most beautiful flowers, and so they're very nostalgic to me, and I don't want to cut back on any of the lily pads, so I'm definitely keeping those. Now the thing with the hornwort is it is really important for the health of the pond because it adds oxygen back into the water. So there are some plants that are called like oxygenators, and basically for the fish that live in the pond, the hornwort helps to add oxygen back into the water, and so that's really key. But too much of it obviously is just going to clog up things. I think I'm just going to take all of this watercress out. You want to have room for little fishies to have something to hide in and to be protected by. Yeah, but I just don't want it clogged. Maybe just trimming up some of these creeping Jenny just a little bit. This is such a fast growing plant that even trimming like this it'll grow back in no time. I'm also just going to come in and kind of just take out any of the papyrus leaves that have died back, just to clean that up so that looks a little bit nicer. It's just kind of cosmetic. The papyrus has gotten really pretty. This is the Little Prince, so it's not the super huge papyrus. There we go. Okay. This seems good. There. I'll let that kind of grow across. You can see the roots of the plants are going like into the water. There we go. Awesome. Now you can see that I've lost a little bit of water to evaporation. So I am going to re-add in some more water to the pond, and I'll show you how I do that. So I have a very urban backyard garden, obviously, and so I am on city water. I just put tap water into the container pond, and that can be really dangerous for your fish. I actually had some goldfish in here, and sadly I just topped them off even just like an inch of water, and it was not good for them, and they actually passed away. So I have right now ruby red minnows in the pond. They're supposed to be a little bit hardier, and they're just so fun. You can see them swimming around now, which is kind of cool. They're really nice little minnows, and they get in here and get all of like the larvae from all of the mosquitoes or anything, so that keeps this pond from getting, gross with bug larvae. And whenever I fill up the water now, I add this. So this is a thing you can just add to the water, like a supplement you just add to the water, and it detoxifies and gets rid of all the heavy metals and the chlorine and everything, so that you don't end up hurting your fish if you have tap water. Even just adding, like, I'm going to fill this up today, and as you can see, I just need to add like maybe whatever, half an inch of water. I'm still going to add this because without it can be harmful for the fish, and this way it'll make sure that any of my tap water doesn't cause the fish any damage. So I can't stress enough getting something like this if you have a pond. I will link this particular variety in the description, but yeah, just anything that's gonna make your tap water safe. Super key for the fishies. And I do love having the fish in the pond, and they really take care of the mosquito larvae. So I don't feed them. From everything I've read, you don't want to feed them, you don't need to feed them. They'll eat the algae and things that are in the pond, and they take care of, all the mosquito larvae, which do get started pretty fast. If you don't have fish in a container pond like this, you are going to need to be emptying out that water and cleaning it out pretty regularly. With my other pond, I have just like a pot basically of water that's a pond. I have to dump that and get all the larvae out every few days, otherwise it kind of fills up. So these fishies, they work hard and they do a great job. So I just followed the dosage recommendations for this size container, and I'll just add this in first and then add the water in, and that seems to work perfectly well. I also use this on we have a couple goldfish inside in a fish tank. I use this for them too, and it works great. Oh, it's so fun that I can see them. I I must have stirred up a bunch of little critters or something when I removed all that plant material, because they are going wild. So now it's all full of water, and I probably fill it about like once a week, I would say. Now that the summer has really hit, it depends a little bit on how much it rains, but it's kind of protected right here, so it doesn't get a whole ton of rainwater. So yeah, about once a week, and I feel like it just looks so much better once it's nice and full. But I think that's it for today. I'm just gonna sit here and watch these little fish swim around, because I hadn't really been able to see them before with all of the seaweed in there. So now I get to see them and watch them a little bit. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the container pond, I am still new to container pond growing, but leave them in the comments, and if I can answer them, I would of course love to. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.